It started as a joke. I run a horror-themed unboxing channel on YouTube. Haunted dolls, cursed VHS tapes, weird taxidermy, you name it. The more disturbing, the better the views. But this time, I wanted something no one else had. So I went to the dark web. The listing was titled, "Live Fairy in Jar 100% Real, Do Not Open." There were no reviews, no seller ratings. Just one grainy photo of a glowing jar and the words, "Not for resale." Not for light. Of course I bought it. The package arrived a week later. Plain box. No return address. Inside was a glass jar wrapped in blood-stained cloth and sealed with wax. The thing inside pulsed faintly with light. Wings twitched. I figured it was animatronic. I set up the camera. Pressed record. "What's up, creeps? Today I've got something truly insane. You won't believe what's inside this jar." As I peeled back the cloth, a high-pitched sound, like metal grinding in reverse, filled the room. My vision blurred for a second. The camera caught everything. Inside the jar was a humanoid creature, about 6 inches tall. Translucent skin, glowing blue veins, wings like shredded dragonfly silk. It stared at me with hollow black eyes. And then it smiled. I should have left it sealed. But the wax had already cracked during shipping. And in a moment of panic or stupidity, probably both, I lifted the lid. The thing shot out like a bullet, faster than my eyes could follow. I screamed, knocking the camera over. The feed went wild. There was no trace of it. I spent hours searching, thinking it had died or flown out the window. But that night, I heard the scratching. Inside the walls, high-pitched clicks, paper-thin wings fluttering just out of sight. The next morning, there were bite marks on the apples in the kitchen. Not human, not animal, tiny, precise. My dog refused to enter the house. I found one of his teeth on the floor, bloody and cleanly removed. I set up surveillance. What I saw on the footage chilled me to the bone. Tiny creatures, not one, but 3, crawling out from a crack in the drywall. Identical to the one from the jar. Pale, twitchy, twitching wings and long fingers. Multiplying. I tried to contact the seller. Of course, they had disappeared. The listing was gone. The user account no longer existed. But buried in the packaging, I found something. A folded paper, yellowed and brittle. Scrawled in ink and blood. "They are not fairies. They are engineered. They were made to spread. They implant spores. In walls. In pets. In you. If you have opened the jar, burn everything. Burn your house. Burn yourself." I was already feeling sick. Nosebleeds. Headaches. Dreams of fluttering wings and screaming metal. I dug deeper online, through forums and encrypted message boards. Turns out there had been other unboxings. A few uploaded clips of similar jars, but the videos never stayed up long. Takedowns. DMCA claims from companies that didn't exist. One guy uploaded a full video. A week later, he was found dead in his apartment. No eyes, just smooth skin where they had been. I checked my subscriber count. Thousands of new views. People were loving the footage. Commenting things like, "It looks so real," and, "Bro, this is viral level creepy." They had no idea it wasn't a skit. And behind the walls, I could hear them hatching. The infestation spread fast. I called pest control, but they never made it to the front door. One of the fairies launched at the guy's neck. It burrowed in before he could scream. I slammed the door shut and locked it. That night, the walls pulsed. Literal movement under the paint. Like veins growing through the drywall. I ripped open a panel with a crowbar. What I saw made me throw up. Hundreds of tiny cocoons, webbed in a nest of shredded insulation and blood. Inside, I could see silhouettes twitching. Wings stretching. They were building something. I grabbed a can of gas and poured it over the floor. Lit a match. The fire roared. Smoke, screams, burning wings. But when I ran outside, something hit me from behind. A sting. Not pain, but cold. Like dry ice injected into my spine. I collapsed. Vision spinning. The last thing I saw was the jar, sitting in the grass beside me. Unbroken. Still glowing. And a note attached to the lid. Shipment confirmed. Next host verified. I woke up in a facility. Sterile. Cold. A man in a lab coat smiled at me through the glass. "Congratulations," he said. "You've helped the project reach phase 3. Behind him, more jars. Dozens. Hundreds. Each with something fluttering inside. This wasn't just a dark web prank. This was war. And I had opened the first gate.